Hello everyone, welcome to Master's Teach. And today we are going to discuss termination, dismisses, okay, rules for need to be followed in labor law, that is IRC 2020. Let us see for the examination point of view, so that it will be helpful to you to clear examination with the clear knowledge. Okay, so here we are going to discuss disciplinary proceedings and termination of employment. So it is as per the Industrial Relations Code 2020. It is a part of your LLB third semester labor law. So if you are newly watching my video, please do subscribe and share with your friends, okay? And like also. So disciplinary proceeding in industries. So that means sometimes the laborers may do some mistake, or something happen. In that case, they need to be have the natural justice. The core principle need to be followed as per the labor, like here, nemo judex in causa sua. That means no one should be punished a judge in their own cause. And adi alteram patam means here the other side. Okay, something happened in the office or in the uh, factory. Okay, some mistake is then one cannot dismiss that particular person. Okay, let them hear first. Okay, whether employee or employer. Okay, the employee grievance should be here. Okay, and proper domestic inquiry and investigation to be done by the employer before imposing any major penalties on employees. So first, this is the diagram here. Issue charges. Okay, first, say the the issue, the charge sheet should be maintained, okay, in a uh, formal way. Then let the employee give the reply why it is happened. Okay, so the employer has to appoint the uh, like impartial officer to look in this particular issue. Then after hearing, the inquiry is going to be proceed with the proper evidence. So if it is punished, if the evidence is proper one, then outcome may be uh, punish or to give the solution. Okay, so this is the thing. So natural justice need to be followed. The principle nemo judex in causa sua, that means no one should punish a judge in their own cause. Okay, that means adi alteram patam means here the other side. So inquiry should be done, follow the this particular procedure. So when you're writing the exam, make sure that you have to follow this thing. Okay, types of termination. Okay, one is voluntary resignation. So the employee can himself can resignation, okay, to the employment. Okay, then retrenchment, it is termination due to surplus labor, extra labor, due to factory closure or due to economic reasons. And dismissal, so that is a punishment. Okay, it is a termination as a punishment to if the like that conduct is proved, then misconduct, the proven misconduct after the inquiry, the dismissal will be done. Termination, then discharge, so termination without stigma, so not amounting the punishment, so without any judgment, without fairly done, then the discharge can be the termination is going to be cancelled. Okay, so termination versus retrenchment versus dismissal. So the nature, termination means ending service forever. Then in retrenchment, so due to due to lockdown, due to closure of the firm, okay, that time the the nature is economic necessity in order to save the funds of the organization. Dismissal, it may be for the punishment or due to misconduct. Compensation, so if the termination is done as per the terms and condition, that compensation will be given. Retrenchment, it is compulsory given. When the factory is closing, that amount should be given to the employer. In dismissal, no compensation will be required. Then notice in the termination, they usually they'll give the notice. In retrenchment, yes, 1 month notice will be given. In dismissal, no notice is required. Okay, stigma, it is a neutral, no stigma, and carries stigma. Then re-employment, in termination it is possible. In retrenchment, priority in rehiring. If the factory is closed, if the factory is started, then they will recruit the person who has retrenchment. And then in dismissal, it's very difficult to take the re-employment. Okay, this is a termination versus retrenchment versus dismissal. So notice of termination, what is the legal requirement? Okay, so notice is required for the retrenchment, voluntary resignation, and discharge without cause. No notice will be given if it is dismissed for the misconduct. Okay, and for the grave offenses or due to probation termination. So by the legal requirement need to be followed by the employer. So employer has to give the 1 month notice to, or wages in lieu. Then they have to specify proper reasons for the termination, and they have to come, like as we discussed about the standing orders. As per the standing orders, the employer can give the termination to the employee by workman labors. So notice period as per the employment terms, usually 30 days for the permanent workers, and may forfeit benefit for the absconding. Okay, payment in lieu, employer pay the wages instead of notice. Okay, calculate based on the last drawn wages, immediate termination becomes valid. So this is a notice of termination. Then misconduct, suspension, and dismissal. It is a unit to suspension means it is a temporary removal from the duty during the investigation. So in the dismissal, so the labor has to get minimum 50% of the wage during the suspension period. Dismissal, so it is a grave punishment. So permanent termination of the employment after proving the misconducted. Requirement for the dismissal of the employee, proper inquiry should be done. There is a natural justice need to be followed, and proper reason should be finding out. So these are the requirement for the suspension as well as dismissal. So when you're writing the exam, please note this, that will be helpful to you. Then acts constituting misconduct. So why this like uh, like dismissal happen? Common categories of misconduct here: theft and fraud, dishonesty. So misappropriate of the company property and funds, if they use and they theft, that time they'll have these punishments. Then insubordination, so willful disobedience to the superiors. Okay, and law. Then habitual absence, so without telling without taking the permission, if they leave, if they take the leave, that time also it leads to be misconduct. Then righteous behavior, so making violence, intimidation, or disorderly conduct at workplace. Then other offenses, so then drunkenness, negligence, and damaging to the property. Okay, breach of safety rules, etc. So in workplace violation, so no safety helmet is paid, no shoes is wear. Okay, unauthorized phones use, no safety goggles, running in work area, improper lifting, ignoring warning signs. So these may comes under constituting misconduct. Okay, so misconduct must be defined in standing orders, we already discussed in previous video. So burden of proof lies with the employer. So this is thing. So workers, what is the remedies available for the workers if the unfair treatment goes in the factory? First, he has to complain with the labor court. Then the judgment comes, then tribunal here, then enforcement take into place. So like wrongful dismissal, so like procedure defect, unfair labor practices, they are going to get the punishment for the same. First they have to go to the labor court or tribunal. Then the labor court here with the statement, then they make sure that they are going to get the wages for the unemployment due to wrongful termination. Then they are going to get the monetary relief when when the statement they observe it is true. Then if it is practical, they'll get the monetary relief also to the workers. So these are the things. Then roles of the employers and agent. Okay, employer should responsible for the acts of managers, supervisors, agent done course of employment. Okay, then acts of agent. So the agent is the authorized person of the employer, so he has to bind the rules. Okay, responsibility for employers must ensure that follow the principle of natural justice and fair procedures. So the employers cannot escape the liability for delegating the disciplinary powers to the agents who acts unfairly or violation of established procedures. That means employers have appoint one of the agents, okay, to look after to implementation of the standing orders. Okay, and uh, like they will look after every day to day business in the course of their job. If somebody terminated, somebody disciplined, okay, that is the liability of the employer, which the employer cannot escape such action by the agent. Okay, then examination point of view, what you have to remember: principles of natural justice, nemo judex and causa sua. That means nobody can punish their, nobody can judge their own. Okay, adi alteram pata means they have to follow, let the hear first the person who done something. Okay, domestic inquiry should be done. Then retrenchment compensation, dismissal and discharge, notice period, and suspension allowance. These are the things they have to follow. So do watch this particular things. 10 points you have to remember about the natural justice: domestic inquiry is required, retrenchment compensation should be given. Then we discuss dismissal versus discharge. Okay, then notice period, minimum 1 month notice should be given. Okay, and except in the termination. Then suspension alone, during the suspension the employee, you should get the 50% of their company salary. Then misconduct definition, so specified like they have to misconduct maybe it may be disobeying the orders or theft, something like that. Workers remedies, so they'll go to the court and they will get the justification. Vicarious liability, so that means employees liable for the unfair practices which is done by the agencies in the or managers. Fairness is requirement when the disciplinary action taken, that time proper reasonable reason should be there, and they should follow the natural justice. This is about the punishment, all the details. Okay, the termination, retrenchment, okay, types of termination we discussed. Okay, so disciplinary proceeding when the termination of the employment takes place. Okay, these need to be followed. I hope you understand this. We'll meet with the next class. Thank you for watching uh, master speech. Okay, all the best for your coming examination. So I covered all the labor law and other 5 units in a third semester that will be helpful to you to clear your examination. Thank you.